The lives of Shanna Golyar, Dave Kroupa, and Cari Farver were entangled in this horrific tale of infatuation, deception, and ultimately, murder. This episode of Tried and True Crime will teach you about the triangle of love that caused 3 individuals to experience unimaginable agony. Grab your popcorn as we explore this. Cari and Dave's once seemingly innocent romance quickly turned into a tragic and deceptive tale of deceit. Cari, an energetic lady from Iowa, and Dave, a man from Omaha, Nebraska, had a whirlwind romance. However, Cari's abrupt disappearance put an end to their relationship almost as soon as it began, leaving Dave confused and inconsolable. He had no idea that Shanna Golyar had a dark agenda and was hiding in the shadows. Liz developed a cunning scheme to kill her romantic rival Cari and take over her identity since she was infatuated with Dave. Liz pretended to be Cari for 3 terrifying years, sending thousands of texts and emails to Dave and Cari's loved ones while concocting a complex network of lies. But when investigators dug deeper into Cari's disappearance and revealed the horrific reality behind the intricate charade, her facade started to come apart. Come along as we solve the eerie enigma surrounding the death of Cari Farver, a case that challenges logic and probes the darkest corners of human deceit. Dave Kroupa is working hard in an auto repair shop in Omaha, Nebraska in 2012. After splitting up with his long-term partner, Dave is seeking a new beginning. He thus ventures into the realm of online dating and encounters Golyar. Although they click well, Dave isn't interested in anything too serious. Cari Farver, a shadowy character who draws Dave's attention when she enters his store, is also there. He senses something unusual about her and is drawn to her right away. But prepare for a dark turn in this drama. People, hold onto your chairs and grab your popcorn. There was a spark when our eyes met, Kroupa recalled in an ABC News interview. We stood close together, anxiety building as she showed me something in the car. When Kroupa and Farver went on a date, they were open about their non-exclusive plans. But when they got back to Kroupa's place, destiny struck again. As Farver was leaving, she happened to run across Golyar in the corridor. This chance meeting would change their lives forever. When Dave Kroupa first met Cari Farver, he was considering giving up his single life in the frenzy of their developing romance. For a few nights in November 2012, Farver agreed to crash at Kroupa's apartment, even though she preferred to keep things light. Her logic: she had some pressing work to be done in the morning and Kroupa's apartment was closer to her workplace. Farver kissed Kroupa goodbye and mysteriously disappeared on November 13, 2012. The insignificant act notwithstanding, it was the final moment anyone saw her alive. But a few hours later, Kroupa received an unexpected text from Farver, which turned the day into something strange. Suddenly, she expressed her wish to live with him on a formal basis. He described the terrifying experience in a disturbing sequel to Oxygen's Dateline. Secrets uncovered. The instant I hit send, her reply lit up my screen with a barrage of anger. Fine, I don't ever want to see you again. Go away. I'm dating somebody else. I hate you, she wrote. As texts from Farver started to reach her family, the mystery grew more complex. Nancy Rainey, her mother, was promised that she would make plans for her 15-year-old son Max when she received a note explaining Farver's move to Kansas for a new job. When Farver declined to attend her father's burial and her half-brother's wedding, Rainey became increasingly uneasy, sensing that something was very wrong. When authorities tried to get in touch with Farver, they were met with vicious texts telling them to back off. After Rainey revealed Farver's bipolar diagnosis, detectives surmised that she had stopped taking her medicine of her own volition and abandoned her life. They had no idea that the reality would evade them for years, appending preconceptions and revealing a chilling story of disappearance and deceit. In a storyline twist that may have come from a Hollywood thriller, Liz Golyar called Dave Kroupa on August 17, 2013, out of pure panic. After months of bonding over common trauma, those constant, sinister messages from Cari Farver had finally blown up into flames. Golyar's terrified voice snapped across the phone, telling of her home burning down and her unfortunate pets dying in the fire. Meanwhile, a message from Farver's hot fingertips lands in Kroupa's inbox, spouting death threats like a bad guy in a B-movie. But guys, be ready for more drama. Grab your popcorn and hold on tight. In a real-life horror film, Kroupa receives texts that describe everything about him, even the socks he's wearing. Play the spooky soundtrack while Kroupa scratches his head, trying to figure out if Golyar has suddenly become psychic or if his phone is possessed. Alas, Golyar wasn't with her phone when these messages came in. In an attempt to elude the cyberstalker, Kroupa modifies his phone number. In times like these, drastic measures are necessary. Suddenly, the texts start to taper off, at least temporarily. After moving to Council Bluffs, Iowa, Kroupa stops communicating with Golyar. In the meantime, in a turn of events reminiscent of an Agatha Christie book, detectives ultimately resolve to don their detective caps and solve the mystery of Cari Farver missing. Springtime in 2015, a time for chirping birds, blooming flowers, and for detectives Ryan Avis and Jim Doty, a chance to throw themselves into a twisting mystery straight out of a crime book. Using the Pottawatomie County Sheriff's Office as their headquarters, they set out to investigate Cari Farver's disappearance. The air was heavy with suspicion, like mist in the morning. They suspected she was probably gone, but they couldn't be certain of the whereabouts or the exact time. But have no fear, our courageous detectives weren't going to let the case die on the vine. When they returned to Farver's abandoned vehicle, they discovered a dark secret hidden behind the innocent fabric of the passenger seat, bloodstains that suggested nefarious activity. Equipped with a combination of technological expertise and traditional bravery, Avis and Doty investigated the digital traces left by the primary suspects, Kroupa and Golyar. And what did they find? An internet goldmine of lies. The keys to the kingdom were on Golyar's device. Pictures of Farver's vehicle, a variety of fictitious email addresses, and an app that looked like it belonged in a spy movie that could schedule texts ahead of time. As attention began to focus on Golyar, she pulled a Hail Mary pass by placing the blame on Amy Flora, Kroupa's ex-girlfriend, and concocting a tale so complex that even a spider would be jealous. Unfortunately, though, reality finds a way to break through the shadows. Golyar's tale was about to come tumbling down like a house of cards when destiny struck her with a death blow. A frantic 911 phone call came from somewhere deep in Big Lake Park, saying Flora had shot her in the leg. Golyar had no idea that Flora had a perfect cover. With a dramatically ironic flourish, Golyar's story unfolded like a coil of thread, guiding investigators directly to her tablet, which contained a wealth of evidence implicating her and cementing her fate in the chronicles of true crime history. This is where the plot gets really interesting and twisty, like a roller coaster ride through a maze of lies and deception. So grab a seat, people. Beneath the digital debris on the stolen SD card is a startling discovery, an eerie picture of Cari Farver's decaying body, a somber reminder of the terrifying things that lurk in the dark. Wait though, it gets darker. Much darker. Golyar turns out to be the architect behind Farver's death in a gruesome turn of events. Inside her own car, she seals her fate by stabbing Farver in the chest. And thus a convoluted story of deceit and insanity starts. Golyar dances on the edge of insanity for 3 long years, posing as her victim and fabricating a story using 50,000 messages and 15,000 emails in an attempt to hide her horrible crime. However, the trickery doesn't end there. Golyar does a final act of premeditated cruelty in which she destroys her own house, sacrifices her cherished pets, and even shoots herself in the leg in order to keep up her deception. Even though it takes longer, justice is served. Golyar is tried and found guilty in a courtroom scenario fit for a movie, having been found guilty of first-degree murder and second-degree arson. What happened to her? The life sentence without the possibility of release is an appropriate conclusion for a criminal of this caliber. In light of the startling findings of the study, Dave Kroupa is astonished. He thinks back on the terrifying experience with a sorrowful heart, hoping that Golyar would disappear into the depths and never cause such suffering to another person. The wounds of her treachery are deep for him, and the people left behind in Farver's aftermath, serving as a constant reminder of how easily confidence may be misplaced in a world where evil always lurks on the edges. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to stay updated on more tragic stories. If you would like to learn more about this case, the thrilling documentary series Lover Stalker Killer is out now on Netflix. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.